Mm. 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 Balloons. Mm. Yes. I know. Possible. Mm. Copy. Copy. Okay. Nahanap sa natin. Tapos print. Gagawin. Okay. Ano ang okay. Type. Okay. Good. YouTube link. YouTube link. YouTube link. Thank you. Also, and research. Great research. What is it? High important competency. What are the group height? Consent. Yeah. Cancel. Exactly. Research. Great. Why, why important? Move it. Okay. Also, in Adno. Okay. Does that in does that how nahanap mo sa ito. Gagawin pa mana. Pati sila ko ni Chipin. Good. Group right now. Meron ini kita. Meron atau group itu. Jam gerak. Yes. Okay. Crunch, no. I want crunch. Alles moet allemaal doen voor de meeste kwaliteit. Zo, ik meeste kwaliteit is het laatste.
Wat cheese.
Goed zo, ik ja, Klaas is een beetje, maar die kan komen met. Hi, Clive. Hello, Banzi. Hello, my dear. Connecting. Hi, Clive. Okay. Is it your dog, Clive? Hello, Banzi. Can you hear me?
Come on.
Okay. Can you hear me, my dear? Hello, Clive. Unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wonderful. Banzi, you must just keep your video steady, okay? Can you hear me?
Not a problem.
Banzi, can you hear me? Okay. Hi, Banzi, can you hear me? Banzi? Apiwe, can you hear me? Apiwe?
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clearly. Hey.
Oh, that's wonderful. Clive, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. And Banzi, can you hear me?
I'm just not sure about one thing. Can you guys see me, or is it fine if you don't see me?
No, we would love to see your beautiful face, please.
Can you just give me a tip here?
Okay. I will.
I'm just not sure how to put myself on. Am I? Can I press live record?
Yeah. You know what? It's better if you're not sure of the way, then I can just tell the moderator that you're going to stay. You're gonna only if it's better reception for you, then you can rather stay on video only. Is it fine?
I can see everybody's face, but like I can see everybody's face, but I don't know how to go live myself.
Let's not mess around with it. You stay like that as long as you can participate, okay? Then you get good
reception. All right, no problem. All right.
Okay, let's just see. Banzi, we're getting again. Lunga. Hello, Lawandile. Hello, Lawandile. Can you hear me, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Lawandile, can I perhaps just ask that we can let you put your we can't see your face or like in in the shadow.
Okay.
In there?
Okay.
Not yet.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Must I switch off my microphone?
No, not at all. You're fine. We can hear you clearly.
All right.
I'm going to ask you to unmute. Lunga, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Wonderful. I can't see you, Lunga. You maybe can just switch on your video.
Oh, must I switch on my video?
Yes, you can switch on your video. Apiwe, it's fine if you don't switch on yours, okay?
All right, no problem.
Okay.
Iwandile, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Clive, can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear him. I could hear you loud and clear.
Oh, thank you, sir. Hello, Lunga.
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we're just waiting for one more person, and then I'll hand you guys over. Lunga, also for you,
Yes.
the
Can
people
you
that
repeat that?
are on cell phones, they must just keep it steady, otherwise it's going the whole time up and down, okay?
Okay, now I'm sitting down.
Oh, beautiful. So you relax and everything. Stunning. All right?
Yes.
We've got Seaway. All right. Okay. Lunga, we're losing you. There you are again. You must just keep it steady, Lunga. Thank you so much, sir. Lewandile, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Let's see who we're waiting for. Andile, Banzi. Banzi, we've got you. Okay. Then Andile. Okay, let's just see if we have Andile. Not yet. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 5, 2. Who are we missing? So we've got Clive. Yes. Clive, what was that other name that oh, I see. Okay, so you're the new candidate. Your other name is Sibusisu, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
But we can call you Clive.
Not a problem.
Okay, great. That's stunning. Apiwe, Daniel, you've got a
Yes.
section in the
Hello, could you just say that again?
Apiwe, that's fine. You can leave your video off as long as you participate.
Okay, no problem. I really don't know how to switch it on.
No problem. You leave it like that. And let's see, Banzi. Banzi?
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir, Banzi? Banzi? Okay.
Panzi come in.
Banzi, can you hear me?
Panzi come in.
Okay.
Anzi?
Okay, Banzi?
No, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Okay, unmute.
Panzi come in.
I'm good. Yes, I'm good.
Are you good? Wonderful. Wonderful. Lunga? Okay.
Fine.
Lewandile, you must just keep your screen steady, my dear, okay? Don't jump around, otherwise it looks like we are also driving. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Lunga, you've got a beautiful ear.
Thank you very much.
That's
I was born
okay.
with it. Thank you.
But for this purpose, sir, just let us see your face, okay? Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, no problem.
And then I just want to remind you people just to sit, you know, like quiet. Sit still that we don't see you jumping around, okay? Thanks. Okay, I'm going to hand you over to our host. And yes, great. Lunga, you went. Yes, there you go.
No.
Okay, Banzi, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Okay, no problem.
There, I've got you. Okay, so okay, so I'm just waiting for
There we
one
go.
more candidate and delay. I will give him a call. Okay. Bye. So then yes, I'm giving you over to our moderator.
Okay.
A second, please. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. I'm just going to call this one gentleman. We really appreciate you joining us. And make sure you stay in a safe, in a quiet place, okay? Because this is sensitive. We're picking up every sound.
Okay, got it. Okay. Here we go. Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it?
How you doing?
Hola, hola.
Okay. Can I ask you guys all a favor? Right now, can you all mute yourself wherever you are? Can you mute your connection? Can you mute your mic? Banzi, please mute your mic. The one delay, please mute your mic. Apile, mute yourself, and in one delay.
Is mine unmuted still?
No, you unmuted. I need you to mute. Okay, so I've got everybody muted at the moment. It allows me to do the introduction. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us this afternoon for this discussion. I'm going to just explain to you what's going to happen. Andile. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. We're going to have a focus group discussion. Normally, we have these discussions around a boardroom table, but because of COVID-19, everything has moved online. So we're currently doing this, and we're hoping that technology will help us in terms of being able to have this discussion. It is not so important that I see you, but I do want to see you if it is possible. If you have bandwidth issues or your network is giving you problems, then I can understand if you've got to switch off your connection. But what is important is that during the group, we're going to be looking at advertising. So I want you to be able to see and hear the ad. I also want, for the benefit of the group, is that you are engaged in the discussion. It's not very nice if we trying to have a discussion, but you're trying to do 10 other things around you. I appreciate you taking this time to just stay as focused as possible in this meeting with us. What I do have to do, will say to you is that we know we do have a bit of consent that you guys have to give. Basically, the client has asked us to get everybody's consent for the following reasons. One is that this is confidential. All the answers you give us remain confidential. Nowhere do we give your names and your surnames that are linked to your responses. You guys can close the door. That are linked to your responses. The client will take all the information we give them in the end, and they will write a report on this information that we share with them. And they will probably publish some of the results in journals, in articles, and in their strategy documents, but at no point in time is your information shared. What is also very important is the fact that in research, it's about your answers, how you feel about something, and your views. You are not here to agree with everyone that is on this call. We didn't call you to have group consensus. I want you to express your views, your personal views. Is that understood? So now what we can
Yes.
Now what we can do is, if everybody's happy, we can start.
Yes.
So what I want you to do, I want you to introduce yourself to the group, right? In the introduction, I'm going to ask you to do the following: to tell me your name, are you married, do you have children, and what do you do for fun? But the question I want you to start answering for me as well is, when you go out to buy food and drinks for yourself and your household, what informs your decision to choose the products that you buy? And if we all understand the question, then we can start. I normally always start with the guy or the person on my left-hand side. And now I just want to raise this. Because I can't see everybody's pictures, I never know when Lunga wants to talk, or Inwandile wants to talk, or Apile wants to talk, because I cannot see your faces. So what I will do is I will sometimes be forced to pick on you to kind of like get your attention, or what you can do is raise your hand from your phone. You can raise your little hand button, and then I know you want to say something. Okay, guys? So we're gonna start. Clive, I want you to introduce yourself because you're on my left-hand side. So, Clive, when you're ready.
All right. The name's Clive. Currently live in Mlazi. Basically, what normally introduces or what normally interests me when I'm in terms of buying is loyalty and branding. That's normally advertised. The product and taste that I grew up eating or tasting at that given time. So what I'm normally used to, that's what I normally buy.
Okay. And are you married with children? What's the family structure like?
No, I'm not married. Right now, I don't have any kids. I'm just living with my mom, 2 sisters, and my stepdad.
Okay, okay. No, that's fine. Then we come to Banzi. Banzi, can you introduce yourself for the group?
Hi. My name is Bunzi. Based in Wisville. I live with my grandmother. I'm single. I also live with my cousin. Her mom is in Joburg, so we look after her, right? In terms of shopping, I'm not too brand loyal. It would be the cheapest option of what I'm looking for, but it also can't necessarily be a brand that I've never tried before, or a brand that's never been recommended. So I do go for recommendations. I also do go for the price points itself.
Okay, thank you very much for that. A P-way, and if I pronounce it right, wrong, you must just let me know. A P-way, can you introduce yourself for the benefit of the group?
Hi, everybody. My name is Apiwe. I'm a Mlazi boy. I have a daughter that's 5 years old. When it comes to buying, it depends really. Also very price conscious with everything. So price is very important to me, and it depends what purpose I'm buying for. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Inwandile?
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
My name is Luandile. Married, 3 kids. My buying is depending on affordability, and if that certain product adheres to legislations and the standards that need to be adhered to, so that I know what I'm buying is safe for my kids, for my wife. So yeah, I'm from Seaview. I stay with my wife and 2 kids. One is on the way next year, April.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. Guys, to everyone, please just be conscious of your surrounding voices. If you are in if you're in an area that is a bit noisy, please try and move away from that area. Andile, let me come to you to introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Andile. I'm currently living in Umlazi with my partner. I have a 4-year-old daughter. She lives with her parents. Well, I'm self-conscious in terms of the prices of certain products and everything. Hi everybody.
Okay, welcome to our group, Andile. Then we're going to go to Lunga. Lunga, if you will introduce yourself to the benefit of the group.
All right. Hello guys, how are you?
Hi, Lunga.
My name is Lunga. Yes, I'm from My name is Lunga. I'm from Mayville. I've got 4 kids. What makes me buy is what I know. So rather what I am accustomed to. What I am accustomed to.
Okay. Okay. Then lastly, as everybody introduced themselves, everybody has. So, guys, what is important is, and I know the dynamics can change. So, what's important for us is that you are able to see and hear the material that we are going to share with you. So, and it's also that you're in an environment where you can see and hear the content. So, I'm going to play you a test ad. The test ad that we're going to watch is only to ensure that your technology on your side, your bandwidth, your network, allows you to be able to see and hear the ad, right? Now, what is also very important, if you think of any ad that you like on television, any ad, think of your ad now in your head, imagine the product, imagine the ad. I can promise you that ad started off as a concept that was drawn on a piece of paper, where someone had an idea, they drew it on a piece of paper, and sometimes they go through these processes such as research to find out what people think of the ad before they finalize it and before it is on TV where they show it with real people, real music, real action, right? Today we are going to discuss a storyboard, a concept idea, and it is our hope that during the discussion we get to a point where we are able to say what do we like and don't like about the ad. Okay, so what you will see today is not the finished product, it is the concept, and then we will discuss the idea and take it forward. I'm going to share my screen with you to show you a test ad, and then I just want to confirm that you can all see this see it on your screen. Guys, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to play it to you now.
Yes. Horses.
Yes, koala bears.
Okay, could you all see the ad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get that from
Yes,
Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so what we're going to do
National
is,
Geographic?
okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch the ad, then we're going to evaluate the ad. And how we're going to evaluate the ad is that I'm going to show you a list of questions on your screen, on your device, on your mobile phone, or the laptop you're using. You are going to answer the questions on your screen and go to the next question, go to the next question, and when we get to the end of the survey, you're going to press submit, and I'm going to see your answers on this side of the world, right? So now what I want to do is I want to test if you can see the poll and if you can complete the poll. So I'm going to launch the poll now and say to you, if you should see a list of questions on your screen.
Yes.
And it will allow you to move to the next one as you answer the question. So it's a 5-point scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. 4 questions are being asked. The first question is the ad easy to understand? Second question, is the ad relevant to you? The third question, did the ad teach you something new? And the fourth question is this ad, would this ad make you likely to speak to someone about it? You must answer the appropriate answer that you want to select for each question. And then when you're done, you must just indicate to me or let me know that you've all completed the survey, you've pressed submitted, because once I end it, you will not be able to complete any question that you didn't get to. So I want to know from the team, it's done, we're finished, and then I can close it. So please let me know when everyone's done.
Okay.
Okay, deal is done. Bandy, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Bandy's done. Clive, are you done? Clive, are you done? Apile, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm
done.
done.
Apiwe?
I'm also done.
Okay. So if everybody's done, is there anyone still busy?
Yes, mine is just still loading, but I'm done, but it's still loading.
Is yours still loading, but you press submitted?
Yes, I've already pressed submit. It's just on the please wait loading part.
Okay, let's just give it a moment. Maybe it's just network that is giving the delay. So just let me know when it's kind of like left you, it's done.
Okay, yeah. It just saying failed submit error. So I'm gonna submit again.
Okay, press submit again. Let's just see if it will work from your end, Andile. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, it's been submitted, sorted.
Ah, thank you, sir. So now I'm going to end it on my side. So literally, this is what we're going to do. We're going to watch an ad, evaluate an ad using 12 questions. And then let me just admit Lunga again. I see I lost him. We're going to do 12 questions. Then we're going to have a short discussion. So I'm just waiting for Lunga's audio to connect. Lunga, are you back?
I'm sorry, man. My battery died, so I charged. I'm very sorry about that.
Okay, but are you back with me now?
No, I'm back. I'm charging. I'm in the car. Everything is fine now. Let's go on for the next 4 hours. I'm ready.
Okay, we're not going to use 4 hours. Let's just go carry on. Okay, guys. So
Thanks, man.
The next thing I do is I'm going to show you the test ad we're going to discuss. You're going to see a storyboard. I'm going to play it for you twice. And then we're going to evaluate it and then have a short discussion. Are we all ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so here we go.
Yes,
I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing my screen now. Can you all see this? Sifuna Kwazi.
Yes.
Okay, great, guys.
Yes.
Remember, I'm going to show you this ad twice. Here we go.
If you know us, you know we like to get to the truth. Everybody knows more and more of our children are becoming overweight. But why? And why are so many of our brothers and sisters dying from conditions like diabetes and heart disease? But the real question is, why does the unhealthy food industry hide what it puts in our food? And exactly what is the impact of these high amounts of sugar, salt, and fat? What exactly are you hiding?
Okay, I'm playing it again.
If you know us, you know we like to get to the truth. Everybody knows more and more of our children are becoming overweight. But why? And why are so many of our brothers and sisters dying from conditions like diabetes and heart disease? But the real question is, why does the unhealthy food industry hide what it puts in our food? And exactly what is the impact of these high amounts of sugar, salt, and fat? What exactly are you hiding?
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Everyone was able to see and hear the ad? Banzi, everything fine? Okay,
Yes.
so now we're going to do the poll where you'll have 12 questions to evaluate for this ad. And it starts off with asking you, question 1, is this ad easy to understand? Please mark your appropriate answer on your device, your screen, and then move to the next question. Is this ad believable? Mark the appropriate answer, move to the next question. Is the ad relevant to you? Did the ad teach you something new? Did the ad make you to stop and think? Would this ad make you likely to talk to someone about it? Did the ad motivate you to have less unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Would this ad increase your support for warning labels on the front of food and drinks packages that identify when that food and drink is unhealthy? Would the ad motivate you to seek more information about what's in the food that you eat? And would the ad increase your support for government action to reduce the consumption of unhealthy foods and sugary drinks in South Africa? What I need to know from the guys is when you completed all 10 questions, to just let me know you have submitted successfully.
I've completed successfully.
Thanks, Clive. Thanks, Banzi.
Sure.
Completed.
Wandile, thank you. So I'm just waiting for Andile, Apiwe, and Lunga.
I've submitted.
All right, so I'm done as well.
Thanks, Lunga. Yourself?
Yeah.
Lunga?
I've completed.
Yeah. No. I'm live.
Have you been able to submit, Lunga?
Sorry?
Have you submitted?
My network is very bad. You saying, did I submit?
Yes.
Okay,
Lunga?
yes.
Did you submit
Yes,
your
I'm
answers?
submitting now. I'm still doing it.
Okay. No problem. Lunga, are you having success?
Yes, I'm submitting.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for your patience, guys. We're just waiting for Lunga to submit.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I've submitted, yes.
Okay, thanks a lot. I'm gonna end this poll. Then we'll go to the last two questions that must be answered. That says, will this ad motivate you to take action like signing a petition or sharing a message on social media? To call on government to require companies to display clear front of package warnings on unhealthy foods. And then the last question is this ad an effective ad on front of package labeling on the harms of sugary drinks and unhealthy foods? When you have submitted all, please just give me an indication that you have done both questions and submitted. Thanks, Banzi. Clive, you done? Clive, thanks. Andile. Okay, Lunga's done.
I'm done as well.
Apiwe is done.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so everybody's done. Okay. Thank you, guys. So now that we are finished with that, we're going to have a short discussion about the ad that you've just seen. And first of all, I want to ask you, if you had to describe this ad in one word, one or two words, Banzi, what would you say would the word be to describe this ad?
I would say
I'll go first. This is Apiwe.
Apiwe,
I would say this.
Apiwe, listen, guys.
Yes, sir.
Because I can't see your face, I can't see your faces, right? This is for Apiwe, Iwandile, and Lunga. I can't see your faces, so I'm gonna have to call your name when to find out if you want to add something, unless you want to put on your camera so that I can see your face. To the guys who've got their cameras on, if someone else is talking and you want to say something, just wait for me, and then I will know you want to add to the conversation. Okay, Clive, Andile, Banzi, that's how we'll try and do it. But the other guys who I can't see their faces, they can either raise their hand to tell me that they want to talk, or I will call out your name to ask you if there's something you want to add. Thanks for putting your video on, Apiwe. Now I can see you. Okay, so
no problem.
Banzi, if I come back to you, what would be the word?
I'm looking for a word that's less than informative, but informative would be the word I use.
Okay. Informative. Let's go to Clive. Clive, what would be your one or two words to describe this ad?
Well, it would therefore be informative, yes, but in a way, it's kind of has knowledge because it teaches you about something that you wouldn't really recognize.
Okay, informative and knowledge. You would put together lunga. For you, the word that would describe this ad, words that you would use.
Go with the word useful. Yeah,
Useful.
because it was necessary, but it was kind of things that I kind of knew, but it was useful. I would go for that word.
Okay, Apiwe, what would your word be? You're on mute, Apiwe. You need to unmute yourself.
In my opinion, the ad was a little bit informative, but also it's not as new to me, really, but I think it would be a good idea to spread the word. So I would say it would be effective if it was out there, you know.
Okay, so it will be effective as
Effective
it's out there.
is the choice of word.
So your word is effective and informative. Andile, what would your word be to describe this ad?
My word would be thoughts, because it wasn't, though it was limited at the same time. But I chose food for thought because it actually gives you a brief understanding of.
Okay, so yours is food for thought that you would have. Lunga, have I asked you what your word would be? I have asked Lunga. Iwandile, what would your word be?
Needed.
Needed.
Would be needed. Yes, as a parent, I think it's something we'd need to really have so that when I buy, I know what I'm buying my kids. I know it's safe for them. And also having parents with diabetes, just buying things that won't harm them. So that's needed.
Okay, needed. Okay, so with the next question, I want you to think of two aspects, and that is, I want to know, sometimes you can watch an ad and you're totally confused. You've seen an ad and you go, what the hell was that about? And sometimes you can watch an ad and it's pretty easy to understand. So on the issue of, was this ad easy to understand? I need you to tell me, do you think it was easy to understand? But at the same time, I want you to tell me, what do you believe is the message the ad is trying to communicate? Clive, I'm going to start with you.
Not a problem. So, from my point of view, it was pretty informative. Sorry about that. But all in all, it gave us a lot of knowledge. It was easy to understand. It described and gave you also a visual aspect as to what you could look out for into food and where you could find it. So, from my given end, it was pretty simple to understand.
Okay, and then to that end, Clive, I'm still with you. What do you think is the key message the ad is trying to communicate?
Well, it's trying to inform people that within certain products there are high values, and you should look out what you eat because our body systems aren't the same, and we don't operate the same way. We might like the same food, but we should look out for what we eat for.
Okay, thank you very much. And Dile, coming to you, how easy was this ad to understand, and what do you believe is the key message the ad is trying to communicate?
Well, I personally think that the ad was like a good ad because it gave you like a message on what's actually in the food in terms of us knowing about it, and maybe information being on the actual product's branding, and having the holistic thoughts of you are what you eat, basically. Because most of the time we're consuming foods that we don't know like about them and stuff like that, or how they're made.
Okay, thank you very much. Lunga, for you, easy to understand, not easy to understand, and what is that key message? Lunga, are you there, my brother? Okay, we'll come back to Lunga. Panzi. Oh, there's Lunga.
That we should really like things that we. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You were lost a bit there,
Hello?
so you can start over. Tell me, is the ad
Oh,
easy to understand?
yes. Yes. It was very easy to understand. I was saying, for me, it spoke to things like we should be very wary at the things that we put into our bodies, as Luandile said. Uh, Not to say that it was scary, per se, but we just have to really like be cautious at things that we put into our bodies, the sugars and the likes.
Okay. Banzi, for you, easy to understand and key message.
It was easy to understand for me. The message, I think I missed the key message in terms of I thought it was going to be a petition on what they were trying to advertise, right? I thought maybe they were going to end off with a link saying, go sign a petition here to make sure that the advertising on the box is there constantly or something like that. The reason why I didn't want to use informative was because of that. It did have information, but I didn't feel like it had enough information for me. It seemed like more it was advertising a petition or some online poll or something like that. It didn't seem
Okay.
like just something before that. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll come back to that thought. Apiwe for you, easy to understand and key message, or not easy to understand and key message. What is
I would say it was understandable. Not sure if the word easy is the best word to use, but it was okay. Like I got the gist of the message they were trying to push. Yeah, that's about it.
okay? So if you got the gist of the message they're trying to push, what is the message?
Being health conscious and knowing what we put in our bodies, basically. So yeah, like I felt like it was more of we should be more wary of what we consume. And yeah, just take a little bit extra, look a little bit extra into what we put into our bodies, basically.
Okay, and then the last one, you want delay. For you, was it easy to understand and the key message?
Yes, for me it was easy to understand. I think what I got from it was they're trying to put pressure on government to put laws that will have companies really put on the information that we as consumers need to know about the specific product they're selling. It did throw me off on the animation part. I think for myself personally, I don't take animation seriously. So if I saw the advert popping up on TV, I probably wouldn't watch it because I think animation is something for kids to just enjoy. That's the only thing for me.
Okay, just a reminder, as I said earlier, this is a storyboard that will be enacted by real people, real characters, music, real scenes. So this isn't the final product, Iwan Dile, that will be on television. It will be real people when we do the final ad. So,
Okay.
okay, so now I just want to know, every ad that is created for someone. Who do you believe is the target market for this ad? Banzi, if I can start with you, who do you think this ad is intended for?
Generally, I think it's for everybody, right? At first, the first thing that caught my attention was the cereal box, not necessarily the newspaper or the TV. It was the cereal box, so I thought it was a cereal advert at first, right? And then until they started talking, and then I realized, okay, it's not just about cereal. It's about the general health of everybody and what you're putting in, right? But yeah,
Okay, and then
yeah.
Lunga, for you, who do you think is the primary target market? And also, maybe tell me, is this ad speaking to you as Lunga?
Yes. Yeah, the target market, what I think it's aimed at people like us. I'll call us caregivers. So whether you are looking after your child or after a parent, well, both in my case. And then what was the second question?
Does this ad speak to you directly, you as
No,
Lunga?
no, no. It honestly, it spoke to me. I know this is a practice run, but it spoke to me. I can't wait to see the final product.
Okay. Clive, for you, who do you think is the intended target audience, and did it speak to you?
Well, in most cases, I think that it's mainly for parents. The target market would be a lot of parents, but also people that tend to notice their health and health systems that are more focused on that. And to me, it did speak to me, but in a way, I hardly just read what I eat, so I just chat on.
Okay. And Dile, for you, that target market, and is the ad speaking to you? Who do you think this ad is for?
Well, I personally think it's a universal thing. It speaks to everybody, but mainly people that are parents and caregivers, like the other gentleman said earlier on, because those are the people that are out there buying stuff and such as foods and everything. But personally, I have to honestly confess that I mostly don't read the nutritional values of certain products.
Okay. And I want to ask, sometimes you see an ad and it tells you something you didn't know. And sometimes you see an ad and it just reconfirms what you know. So I want to know, did this ad provide any new information? Iwandile, if I asked you the question, did this ad give you new information?
Um,
I'd say no for me. Just because um, buying a lot of stuff already has. I think the big brands already have this in play. You know, your Coca-Cola, for example, it already has less sugar there, so it's something that I've been seeing around.
Okay, so for you, it didn't really provide new information. Banzi, for you, oh, sorry that I caught you there, Banzi, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'd also say no, but in terms of the way they were saying it or the tone in which they were using, they're expecting me to know some of these things. I felt, and it felt more so like they were just discussing with me that, hey, you should know this. You should be looking at your contents, and you should actually be asking for companies to have it on the packaging, in front of the packaging,
Okay,
right? So it seemed like that.
okay. Apiwe, for you, was this new information or telling you things you know?
I'll definitely say that it's information that I do know, but it doesn't hurt hearing it again, basically. So it was more of a reminder more than anything, but not really new information, no, sir.
Okay, so if we get to the point of saying, and you know that sometimes in an ad, you see an ad and it's a by the by. It just carry, life carries on. I've seen an ad, we carry on. Or sometimes you can see an ad and it has talkability, like you feel encouraged to speak to people about the ad. Clive, if I ask you, now that you've seen this ad, does this ad make you want to speak to someone about it, or is it more an ad that's by the by?
Well, it's an ad that I definitely speak to someone about because my mother is kind of a chronic, so I therefore watch what she eats basically, and therefore pay much more attention to that.
Okay, definitely. Banji, for you, is this an ad that will make you speak to people about it, and who would you tend to want to share the message with?
I think in general it is an interesting topic to discuss. So it's definitely a topic, if it does come up on TV, that I think it would start the discussion. Um, Randomly, I don't think I'd be discussing the advert itself. It didn't appeal to me that much. But yeah, I do think it's an interesting subject to touch on.
Okay, and Dile, for you, is this something that creates talkability, and with who would that conversation be held?
Yes, I think it does create some sort of conversation, but like the gentleman before me just said, it would be a conversation more of like a family conversation or the members of your family and stuff like that. Because some people have different aspects and not every family eats a specific diet, for instance, because my grandmother has a heart problem, so she mostly concentrates on products that are low in cholesterol,
Okay.
which might not be the same for another family, for instance.
Okay, in agreement there. Now, if it comes to products that are classified as unhealthy foods and sugary drinks, do you think an ad like this will change your attitude towards those products that are classified as unhealthy and sugary drinks? Iwan Dile, if I can start with you, do you think that this ad will have an impact in terms of your attitude towards these products? And if so, in what way will it have an impact?
I'm not sure. I think if I'm brand loyal to that brand, for example, I think I'm loyal to Coca-Cola products. I wouldn't be finicky if they didn't have anything there. I wouldn't mind. I enjoy the taste, so I just go for it. Even with the less sugar, I was a bit upset there. I was like, damn, we're losing the sugar in this thing. I wasn't happy at all. So I really don't mind. If I'm loyal to the brand, I'm going with you. Whatever you do, you're just keeping me good all these years, so I'm happy.
Okay, Banzi, for you, I see you were sharing the laughter there when Iwan Dile was speaking. Does this have an impact for you on the attitude towards unhealthy foods and sugary drinks?
I think to a certain aspect, yes. Depending, I think it will definitely cause me to research on how unhealthy that product is. But as he said as well, brand loyalty goes a long way. So sometimes you might find something, you might find information, new information on something that you've been consuming for years, and it will have it in you that it hasn't affected me this way. So I mean, I'm gonna consume it maybe a little less, but not that I'm gonna stop, kind of thing. So it
Okay,
will kind of open up my mind to whether or not I want to continue.
okay. Appeal for you, if you thought about that, what does it do for you in terms of your attitude towards the unhealthy foods and sugary drinks after seeing this ad?
I'm really not much of a conscious buyer like that when it comes to things like sugar and all of that stuff. But it would change my perspective for things that I would buy maybe for my child or let my child consume. Um, but for myself personally, I know what I normally go for when I do any type of shopping, and really it didn't impact me in a way that feels like I should be changing or dropping certain products. For like the example Wandila used, I also am a Coke boy. I love Coke, and I don't see why I would stop. I wouldn't stop consuming Coke if they didn't lessen the sugar because of this advert, basically. For some products, uh, nah, not really though. Not for me. For my child, yes. But as a parent, yes, definitely for my child. But angeke ngizincishe mina what I like, basically.
Okay, I forgot to tell you guys this, right? I just need to be honest. I've got a colleague in the room with me that if you guys get to speak vernacular, which I don't understand, I've got someone next to me to help me translate. But I'm gonna ask Apiwe, what you said in vernacular now, what does it
Uh,
mean in English? You won't
I don't
deprive
deprive
himself.
myself a nice time. Basically, I won't deprive myself of what I love because of a health issue that I really don't feel like is really impacting me directly. It's like someone will say, don't drink vodka, but like you do like vodka at the end of the day, so I'll still drink the vodka.
Okay, so Lunga, if I come to you now and I say to you, what does this ad do in terms of your attitude towards products that are deemed unhealthy and high in sugar? Does it have any impact for Lunga himself?
Okay, mic problem. Sorry. Look, man. Uh, I'm just glad that we're talking about our personal preferences and we're not here to lie. So, yeah, I am very aware, firstly, of products that are not healthy, but I would classify myself as someone who is like overweight, and it's because I eat things that I know are not all right. I don't know why I do it. As Chucky said, ungazinxishi. So for me personally, for myself, it won't do anything. But then if you look at my children, I told you I have 4 children. If you look at my children and if you look at like my parents, I'm very wary of what they eat. So for me, it's a bit of a juxtaposition where I can say yes and no. For me personally, no. I don't know why I do it. I don't want to die at a young age, but I think um, I would most rather enjoy the pleasures, the temporary pleasures of say your cokes and the likes, and deal with whatever I'll deal with later. But I would never like allow my children to drink more than say one coke buddy a day. Yeah,
Okay.
so for me it's a bit of, I feel it's a bit of a juxtaposition. So I'll say yes and no.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So as you guys might know, there are various initiatives that government kind of like start or has started or things like that, that is aimed at creating awareness of what is in the foods we eat, and getting companies to better do labeling of the foods that we eat, so to inform people. A campaign like this and an ad like this, would it increase your support for government to continue with forcing companies to do better labeling of the foods and the drinks that they produce? Clive, I'm going to come to you. An ad like this, does it make you more conscious, and your support for government to, to continue with the work in terms of creating awareness about what is in the food that we eat?
Sure thing. It would definitely increase my level of security and letting people know as to what's going on health-wise, and the fact that government is trying to make us healthier in terms of what we eat, because in many other countries where you see obesity and you see a lot of people that are obese, it's more like a medical issue that government has to face. So if we have to fight obesity, then we could therefore proceed in terms of letting people know as to what they eat.
Okay, okay. Iwandile, for you, does this ad make you want to support government more in their initiatives for better warning labels?
I think our government is failing us on warning labels on foods. This is seen when you go into primarily spaza shops where a lot of the Pakistanis are selling fake stuff. And I think if our government had measures to protect us, they would be there. You would see them there first. So I don't think they're doing much or care much for us in that regard.
Okay, but would an ad like this, with having that view that you're saying, would an ad like this kind of like make you want to create, or apply pressure on government to do better in forcing companies to do better labeling and to
Definitely,
regulate,
definitely,
bring policies
definitely,
to regulate what is in the foods that we eat?
definitely, definitely.
Okay, okay. But what does this do to the companies though? If we think about the companies that are producing this, does the ad make you feel anything towards the companies who are producing these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Banzi, if I start with you, what does this ad do when we think of the companies now?
From a personal experience in terms of selling products that have a lot of labeling on it compared to other brands that don't have as much labeling as our company does, right? It is an advantage because you are telling the person what it is that you're putting into your product. Because I know with our products we have all of our ingredients on our liquids, right? Oh, I work for a vaping company, by the way. So all of our liquids, they have that ISO, the standards, operations, all those stamps and everything. And that's one of my selling points. And customers enjoy knowing that okay, cool, it was made in a certain place. It has these ingredients and all of that. So I think it is an advantage for the company more so than anything. Unless obviously then if they're putting something wrong, then obviously it becomes a disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does this ad make you more conscious about those companies and how they're doing their labeling in terms of their foods and drinks that they put on? An ad
Yes,
like this.
yes, looking at the ad, looking at the cereal box more especially, if you look at the front, most of it is just the company advertising, right? And then at the back, it's all your fine prints and it's really hard to read. And for me who has allergies, I don't like reading through all of that, but I do have to find if it has an allergen in there. So I do have to read and go through all of those things. So it's really kind of, yeah.
Okay. And Clive, for you, an ad like this, what does it make you think of towards the companies that are producing these products and services?
Well, from my point of view, it's mostly about marketing. They don't spend much in terms of marketing, in terms of notifying people as to what they eat. Most things, as Banzi said, it's in fine print. Most of the important details are in fine print, and you get to see mostly the branding of the company, what they want you to see, and what they wouldn't like you to see. They just put it down in fine print. So we definitely have to push companies to therefore increase the marketing issues and font size in terms of the important information rather than the non-important.
Okay. Andile, for you, how would you feel? Does this ad make you more conscious, or does this ad create any feelings towards the companies who are producing these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks?
Yes, I would like to agree with the previous two gentlemen because the fine print is very crucial because had it been in bold as opposed to saying less sugar and having tons of most, make an example like caffeine, for instance, it doesn't really make it healthier. It's just that they've highlighted that they've lessened something that was unhealthier, but not that the whole holistic product itself is more healthy. So I think it's very cool for us to have proper nutritional value out in bold, and having detailed might not have a lot of space or whatever, but might, or rather they might make something that's simpler form but in more detailed information for us who have allergens or whatever, for because not all of us don't have certain illnesses and stuff like that. I might not have any illness, but the next person might have an allergic reaction or a chronic illness.
Okay. So thanks a lot, guys. I want to come to the ad itself. If you think about back at the ad, what we saw in the ad, every scene that we saw, the guy sitting there reading the paper, the guy eating the cereal, and the talking, every scene in the ad. Did you find anything inappropriate or offensive that might offend any race, gender, age group, or person watching the ad that you want to highlight? Did you find anything inappropriate in the ad? Let me ask Lunga. Lunga, did you find anything inappropriate?
Sorry about that. Uh, did I find anything inappropriate? Honestly, I'll say no. I found everything that was said necessary.
Okay.
I think yeah, the world needs to shy away from being so. I'll use the word fickle and soft because the word is necessary. It does not uh seclude or target any group, person, or race. It just speaks to everyone in general about things that are, and we cannot tiptoe around um everything that was said.
Okay. So Lunga, with that said, if there was nothing offensive in the ad, what was the scene or scenes that you thought was most impactful and something you liked in the ad? What scene in the ad was most memorable for you, Lunga?
That's a bit of a hard one. For me personally,
Yes.
uh What view can I go with?
Okay, I'm going to come back to you.
Actu-
Think about it.
All
Think
right,
about it.
all right,
I'm going to come
all
back to
right,
you. Susie,
all right.
if I ask you, was there anything offensive in the ad? And second of all, which for you was the scene you liked most or had the highest impact? Banzi?
Oh, sorry. For me, I think it would be it wasn't offensive. Firstly, I didn't find anything to offense. Right. The most impactful scene was the last phrase that he uttered out was "sifunu gwazi." You know, I thought, okay, yeah, true. I do want to know actually
Okay.
what's on the content. Yeah.
Okay, so it was that word, Sifunukwazi, that stood out most for you, Clive? Was there anything in the ad that stood out that made the ad most memorable?
Well,
Yes, Clive, you.
yeah, from my given point, the ad was therefore a bit, it has been, yeah, it wasn't, how could I put this? It wasn't offensive in any way. I thought, what I think from my point of view is that in terms of using, because critics out there will always have critics that say, why do they use black people? Why is it? But in terms of the ad, I think we could use a broader advantage as to adding therefore different people, just advising as to what's on the actual branding, maybe different genres or different races could therefore speak about different health topics that are in the ad. It was a good ad, it was very informative, and the part that I just thought was informative the most, yes, the words Funugwazi is kind of grabbing to everybody, but the scene where he actually looks at the box and therefore wants to gain further knowledge as to what's written on the actual box. In terms of wording as to what he said, can't remember specifically, but the actual animation of him looking at the box and reading the box is actually very eye-catching.
Okay, okay. Beware for you, any scene that you recall that kind of like stood out, any thoughts with that you'd like to share with the group?
I like that the ad, portrayed a black person that wanted to, that was actually inquisitive. I like that they used a black person in that regard, and it shows that not only, are we just consuming, but we're aware of what we eat. So for me, the whole thing was very informative, and I liked the overall message of the ad. But I would have preferred if maybe they had a multi-racial couple maybe there, and maybe like it's like a black dude and like maybe a white lady.
Okay.
But
So,
yeah.
Apiwe, do you think the usage of different race groups or the dual scene of a lady and a guy, do you think that is you're saying that so that the ad appeals to a wider audience, or do you think that because it's only a black man that people might think it's only for a black race? What is your view on that?
Definitely,
And then Clive, I'm going to come to you as well.
Those are definitely my thoughts, because if you're using a black person, like a black man, and it has no appeal to other black men. So as a black man, I'd like to see maybe a white lady there, cross
Okay.
cross the ethnic groups up. Don't make it a one tunnel vision that's like a message for black people, or it sort of says wake up black people. That's the gist I got from it. So
Oh,
if at least you use this and that, it won't feel like it's directed at black people. It'll feel a little bit more wider, to like a more wider spectrum.
okay.
Because I did get a feeling that somewhat says black people are less informed about these things. And yeah, just mix it up a little bit. Don't let it be just the one brother.
Okay. Clive, I see you nodding a lot with what Apiwe is saying. Do you want to add anything to that thought or share anything in addition?
Well, as I did say, it would speak to marketing wise, it would speak to a larger race group. You know, if you add a lot of different races or genders, specifically because obesity is not just amongst black people, it's amongst a lot of races that we therefore need to get a message out to. It's not
Okay.
just intended at just, if, as I did say, critics would just look at the actual ad and therefore think that, you know, black people just consume and they don't know what they're actually consuming. They just buy, take, eat, cook, whatever, and they don't really much pay attention.
Okay. Okay. Now, guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the slogan, and we're going to do a little bit of discussion on the slogan itself. So I'm going to share my screen with you again. And then, do you all see Sifunukwazi? Okay, Panzi says yes, he can see it. Clark also says yes. So what I want to know from you is this word, Sifunukwazi, does it make the campaign strong? Does it grab your attention? Does it speak to you as the consumer? Banzi, I'm going to start with you. When you see the word, what does it invoke? What kind of message are you taking out of this when seeing it?
So when I see the Sifunugwazi, I ask myself, in what do we want to know? So then it would engage me, and I would want to actually, okay, what is it that you're talking about? And then I read a little bit and find out, and then go deeper with the topic. So it's nice in terms of that. It's one word that says, hey, we gotta know, and then you gotta ask yourself, what do we have to know
Okay.
in that? Yeah.
Okay. Lunga, you had your hand up. What do you think of the slogan Sifunukwazi?
All right. As Bandune, as
Yes.
he was saying, it's very straightforward. It's one word, but it's telling you a lot of things. Sifunukwazi, And I also like the print also. Dangerous ingredients in common foods revealed. So it's more like breaking news. What you thought you knew is not as is. It tells you that, hey, what is going on there? And then you also want to then go on and read, and then you'll then be
Okay.
informed.
Thank you very much. Andile, for you, Sifunukwazi.
Yes, I think it's a good slogan, and I'm not saying that Zulu and English are like the primary languages in South Africa or whatever, but in a way, somebody who might not know Zulu would have read the caption that's on the newspaper in the cartoon, and somebody who knows Zulu would have read the concept for Sifunukwazi. So to obtain knowledge, obviously, yes. So I think it's kind of informative as well.
And Dile, I'm going to play devil's advocate with you and say, what if
Yes.
Sifunukwazi was standing alone with no picture, with no newspaper? The campaign line is Sifunukwazi. That's all it is. Can it stand alone with no picture? And can it work still?
I think it would be way different if it stood alone because first of all, it would only stand out to people who have knowledge of isiZulu. So that would be Black Zulu speaking individuals. So that would be a bit biased against the other cultures as well. So I would rather have it in other languages as well. But then since this is a caption, you can't have all the official languages of South Africa in one caption. So English being one of the most known, or rather chosen most known languages in terms of captions and whatever, media, I think it's more informative having the Zulu caption, yes, but having the cartoon in English as well does help out to know what is actually going on holistically as the message in this cartoon concept for.
Okay. Piwe, you had your hand up, you had your hand raised. Do you want to shed some thoughts at this point?
Yes, definitely. I'd just like to say that again, back to my previous points. If it is a tunnel message that is to or for Black people rather than perfect slogan, because the first thing that comes to mind when I read that is umzekezeke. I remember he used to say that a lot. "Sifuna ukwazi, ndoda, sifuna ukwazi," back in the day. So it will definitely resonate with Black people or amongst the Black culture as a whole. But if you want to include other races, then I would say no, it doesn't appeal to me. And with that being said, I know my brother that just spoke before me said you can't have all 11 languages, but I feel like it's 11 languages. Why not? You could put that thing in every language and not exclude anybody from the conversation, basically. So that's just my humble opinion on the slogan.
No problem. I'm gonna come to Iwandile. Iwandile, give me your thoughts on Sifuna Kwazi as a slogan. How strong is it? How does it resonate with you?
I think, Danny, if you were to go to say, if you were to do this panel in Limpopo, for example, and you came up with the slogan "Sfunugwas," do you think people would be receptive as much as we are this side? Because we get you from the same time you say Spunugwazi, we get it. Go to Limpopo where probably the language is not Spunugwazi. They probably be looking at you and saying, what is this guy saying to us? He's not speaking to us, he's speaking about Zulu people. Why he came to us then? Same as if the slogan was in Limpopo language or Sotho or whatever it is, and you come to us in KZN, we're gonna be like, okay, this guy's not speaking to us. Why didn't he go to Johannesburg? So I think it doesn't speak to everybody entirely. It is catchy though. I get the message behind it, but I don't think it speaks to everybody entirely. If you went to a white community or Afrikaans community in the Free State somewhere, they'd probably look at you and say, "What is this guy saying to us? We worry about our farming here and our farm mothers, and he's coming. What do they want to know from us?" It's a bit tricky for me.
Yeah, and just maybe to play devil's advocate, do you think, I'm going to come to Clive on this question. Do you think that if the message is still strong and you're using one particular word in the ad that is vernacular, whether it was a Zulu word, a Sotho word, if the message is strong, it would still encourage people to go find out what the word means? Or do you think a word like this can just put people off in terms of, like Apiwe was saying, people might immediately think it's for a certain target market, it's for a certain group of people? Or do you think if the message is strong, the creative is strong, someone will want to go find out what does Sifuna Kwazi actually mean? It will create talkability in the campaign and say, okay, so what is Sifuna Kwazi? What does it mean? What do you think, Clive?
Well, from my side, sure thing. I think if the message behind the word is actually that strong, and advertisement, me, I've never been in marketing, but a lot of ideas. So, advertisement wise, as Capitec has the main word Capitec, but when you walk into the actual bank, it greets you in 11 different languages, no matter where the Capitec is, basically. So in terms of advertising wise, you could definitely try to do that. Sifunugwazi is an easy word. Everybody would like to, is inquisitive as to what would that word be. And the actual thing that you're inquisitive about is the actual word of the campaign, Sifunugwazi. So I think it would, if it has a good message and it has good marketing, you could definitely work with everything in terms of the word. Yes, a lot of people know Sizulu. Everybody's interested in the Sizulu because the warmest place to be is in Durban, and everybody wants to come to Durban. So everybody is inquisitive as to Sizulu, and yeah.
Okay, we're going to come to discussing the slogans again. I want to move on to our second ad. So what we're going to do, guys, you've got the rhythm of what we now do, what we try, and Piwe, I see your hand is still up. Did you want to say something in the end, or do you want to lower your hand is that the earlier point that you raised? I just want to check before I move on. Apiwe?
No, let me lower it. I'll take it down. You can move on.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so now we're going to look at the second ad. Very similar. We're going to look at it twice, and then we're going to evaluate it. Okay. Hope you guys are ready on both sides. I'm going to play it now. Can you all see it?
Yes.
Gentlemen? Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I can see it.
Okay. I'm going to play it twice.
I know that breakfast is the most important meal of our day. I know little Timber and I share strawberry yogurt as our favorite snack. I know that a quick lunch gives me the boost I need to keep going. I also know Funisi might decide to pop in at any time, and we can enjoy a cool drink at the end of our meal. But if we'd been told how much sugar, salt, and saturated fat was in our food, and how sick I could get, I could have made better choices. Demand warning labels on unhealthy packaged food.
I'm going to play the ad for you again.
I know that
Yeah,
breakfast
please,
is the important meal of our day. I know little Timber and I share strawberry yogurt as our favorite snack. I know that a quick lunch gives me the boost I need to keep going. I also know Funisi might decide to pop in at any time, and we can enjoy a cool drink at the end of our meal. But if we'd been told how much sugar, salt, and saturated fat was in our food, and how sick I could have made better choices. Demand warning labels on unhealthy packaged food.
Yes.
Okay, guys, did you all see the ad? Okay, everybody says great. Now we're going to do the poll.
Yeah, I
This
saw
is,
it, but the sound was very bad.
the sound was bad.
Yes, Danny.
Okay, and Dile, was the sound bad for you as well?
Yes, you couldn't hear it like
No,
properly. It was cutting the whole time.
I got everything.
Okay,
I
it
got
might
it.
it might be the connection on your side. So what I want you to do is try. I'm going to play it again for the benefit of the two of you that didn't hear the sound properly. The subtitles
Okay.
are at the bottom. So try and read
Yes, that's what.
with the subtitles in order to get the message. So if the other
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
what I ended up reading. That's what I ended up reading as well, because the connection is bad, but the
your
subtitles
background noise,
Yes,
were
sir.
helpful.
Apiwe, your background noise is very loud. So I'm going to play the ad one more time, but if you couldn't hear it, please read the subtitles. I'm only going to play it once.
Sorry, I do not know what is going on with my network right now, but I could not hear a thing on the ad that you played.
Okay, can you hear me still?
Yes, I can hear you clearly now.
Okay, what I want you to do is I'm going to play the ad again. Read the subtitles,
Okay.
because that tells you what they are saying in the ad.
All right, awesome. Awesome, sounds good.
Okay, so here I'm going to play it one more time.
All right.
I know that breakfast is the most important meal of our day. I know little Timber and I share strawberry yogurt as our favorite snack. I know that a quick lunch gives me the boost I need to keep going. I also know Funisi might decide to pop in at any time, and we can enjoy a cool drink at the end of our meal. But if we'd been told how much sugar, salt, and saturated fat was in our food, and how sick I could get, I could have made better choices. Demand warning labels on unhealthy packaged food.
Okay, guys, I'm
It's
hoping
powerful.
that
It's
everybody
powerful.
is able to hear it again. So now we're going to do the poll evaluation for this ad. So I'm going to bring it up on screen, and then if you can please start completing the questions and submitting when you are done. So the first question, is it easy to understand? Second question, is it believable? Please mark the appropriate answer. Is it relevant to you? Did it teach you something new? Did the ad make you to stop and think? Is the ad something you would be likely to talk to someone else about? Would the ad motivate you to have less unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Would this ad increase your support for warning labels on the front of package and drink packages that identify when a food and drink is unhealthy? Would this ad motivate you to seek more information about what is in the food you eat? Would this ad increase your support for government's action to reduce the consumption of unhealthy food on sugary drinks and in South Africa? So what I need to know is when all of you have submitted successfully your 10 answers on this questionnaire. Banzi says yes, he submitted. Andile, submitted.
Yes.
Clive, have
Done.
you
Done. Done.
done? Lunga's done. Clive,
Done.
okay. Apiwe. Apiwe.
I was by. Can you
Apiwe.
please pop those questions up again? They disappeared from my screen. I was like on the 8th one.
Okay.
Oh, there's poll in progress. Never mind. I got it.
Okay. I'll wait.
Okay. Sorry. And we are done, but it's still loading. Done.
No problem. Let me know when it's finished loading.
No, it's done loading.
Okay.
It said
Thanks a lot,
submitted
guys.
successfully.
Okay.
Right.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the last two questions for this evaluation, and here it's up on your screen. The last two questions says, will this ad motivate you to take action like signing a petition, sharing a message on social media, to call on government to require companies to display clear front of package warnings on unhealthy foods? And is this an effective ad on front of package labeling on harms of sugary drinks and unhealthy foods? When you are done, please just let me know. Banji is done.
I've submitted.
Done.
Done.
Yeah, done also.
Apiwe is done. Lunga, are you done? Clive is done. Lunga.
I'm done.
Lunga's done. Andile is done. Lunga, give me a sign. Okay, Lunga's done. Everybody's done. Okay, guys. Very similar to what we discussed the last time. If you had to describe this ad in one word, Banzi, starting with you on my left, what would the word be that you would use to describe this ad?
Shocking.
Shocking. Okay, we're going to come back to explaining what that shocking is about. Clive, what would be your words to describe this ad?
It would be shocking as well, due to the fact that we don't know as much, and the actual lady being on the floor holding her chest. It's very shocking.
Okay, Abanzi is agreeing with you on that point in your explanation. Lunga, for you, give me the word that describes this ad.
Scary.
Scary, okay. Why scary?
Can you repeat that, my network?
Okay, why do you say scary?
Oh, you know what they pointed out in that ad? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, that ad was very it's something that I think everyone can resonate with. It's something that we all do. It's something that we all haphazardly do. We think because it's always been done, we don't pay much to it. But when you actually see that lady on the floor clenching her chest, actually dying, or well, it looks like she's dying, doing things that, hey, I just drank. I'll show you an example. I just drank, you know, it's things that we do because uh, it's Coke, and what will one Coke do? Like one Coke won't do no until you actually spend. Today I drank 4 Cokes. I ate 2 uh, cake slices. I had a very strong cup of coffee with and then you actually see someone dying. It's like seeing someone that dying in something that you normally do, like a car accident, and you never think that it'll happen to you until you see. I feel like I know that lady because I resonate with everything that was said. They described my life. I have I will visit, say, Sipo. We have this and that, and then we drink that one Coke. It's things that you know, and then you actually see her dying. I don't agree with that. Ad is too scary for me. There must be another way.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that thought. And Dile, for you, describing this ad in one word or 2 words, what would you say?
Reality.
Reality.
I think, yeah, I chose reality because it's something we all aware of, but we tend to ignore it because on our daily lives, it's not like everybody goes according to some diet or whatever. For the fact that the gentleman before me mentioned the Coke brand, if it's not offered to us and whatever in the previous years, we normally just drank Coke alone, regardless of what might be the long-term effects of it. So having the cartoon woman holding, clenching her chest might be a heart attack or whatever. It shows us the reality that we do know might just happen to us, yet we ignore it because at the end of the day, we like what tastes good and might not be healthy for us.
Okay, okay. A P-way for you, 1 word to describe this ad, 2 words that will describe this ad, what you've just seen.
Uh my first word would be boring, and my second word would be a wake up call. You know,
Okay.
boring in the sense that my 20-year-old self right now doesn't see themselves dying after drinking a can of Coke or having a slice of cake. So it's really not for me. But it's a wake up call at the same time to say we should be careful of what our elders eat, or maybe try control it, or whatever what they eat. Um, I'm split. I'm two ways about it because I'm a firm believer of when it's your time, it's your time. So the use of an old lady sort of tells me that it was her time. She's probably lived her life. She enjoyed cake. She enjoyed, Coke and all of that. So it's time to go, Gran. Um, with me, let me also go through those same pleasures. Hopefully, I'll die as old as Grande. I wouldn't be mad if Coke killed me at 78 or 80 years of age. I'd be okay with it. I would take my death, with open arms. It's my time.
Okay, that's an interesting view of you. We might come back to discussing or discussing it further on.
All right.
So I want to ask you guys again the question of, was the ad easy to understand, and what do you think is that key message? And I'm going to go back to a few ways because I want to start him off with. Did you find the ad easy to understand, if you went and you speak of Gran and her life and where she is and her dying, but I want to know, as you watch the ad, what did you think is the key message of the ad?
Yeah, very easy to understand. Very, very easy to understand. I would say the key message of the adverts is, to be conscious of what you eat or try to eat healthy. I think it's I would say they're selling the idea of if you eat right, you might live longer, you know. But in my opinion, it's still like you used grand though, you know. It's grand time. So I don't know. I got like mixed messages about it because the point of the whole thing to me is like, yeah, if you eat right, you'll live longer, but you might still die at the same age as, you know, the grand in the adverts. So for me, it's like rethink that. I think they need to like sort of really rethink that whole message, you know.
So let me play devil's advocate with you, everywhere. If they use the younger person that died, would you feel that has a bigger impact to tell you that you can die from eating these unhealthy foods even at a young age? Would that work? Would that have
Definitely.
impact for you?
Definitely. If maybe they used somebody, in my opinion, that looked 45, maybe, you know, I feel, or 40 or something, you know, it would be slightly more scarier, or it would instill the idea that they're trying to put in my head a little bit more, you know,
Okay.
as opposed to using somebody I feel like it's their time in any case.
Okay. Lunga, for you, what is the key message of this ad that you take out after watching it?
Um, for me, it's simple. There's not much to it. The ad is very short. I think even the people that were making it, they were going for, if you eat wrong, you will die. That is what I got. And by wrong, we don't even want to stretch it to, you know, how we all think wrong eating is. When we think of wrong eating, we think of, if I have two pizzas, two whole pizzas alone. I think the guys that made the ad, they pointed out that no, eating wrong is even the everyday things that you do, you know, because they didn't go into extremes like having a whole pizza by yourself, or you know, those things that we do around Christmas time. They pointed out your everyday random Tuesday things, and they said what I got from that is, if you continue doing this, you will die. Clean and simple, very short, very scary, but very effective. Maybe it's because I feel like I'm the target market for people like Chaggy, and I'm looking at Clive, I'm looking at Banzi, even you, Danny. I think most of you are in good shape. You know, that thing spoke to me. That thing spoke to me because I feel like I'm that person. That's how I eat. That's not even like in the extremes, but that spoke to me. And yeah, I know that this was a survey or whatever, but that ad has one customer in me, because I feel like if I carry on with having those occasional, you know, those occasional unhealthy snacks, I'm gonna die like that, like that old lady. I mean,
Okay.
like R.I.P. to the old lady. R.I.P. man.
Andile, for you, what's the main message of the ad that you take out?
I would agree with the gentleman before me, because even though we might look at it, I mean, each other as individuals visually, that might, like for instance, me, I might be skinny, but I might not be healthy on the inside, because what's on the inside might not be portrayed on the outside. So in a way, he is right with all the individuals that he mentioned. But then with the whole age group thing, I think maybe the advert was trying to show us that uh, if we carry on eating unhealthily now at this age, by the time we get older, we might just end up like the grandma, having gotten to the age as well, yes. But then I think it's very crucial for them to have all-rounder characters as well in terms of age, because subjectively now, me as a younger person as compared to an elderly person, I've been thinking that I might have those issues along the lines of later stages of my life. But then adolescents might think otherwise.
Okay, okay. Banzi, for you, that key message that you take out?
Stay informed and make informed decisions is what I got from it.
Okay.
I also got from it that not everything you do now affects you now. It's a long-term thing, right? It's more so because yes, she is a elderly lady, but as she said, also her kids likes the strawberry, the yogurts as well. So it's gonna affect her eventually. And if she was conscious about what she was buying, she could have changed that. She went down very regretful, and I think that's don't have regrets. Just be informed and stay informed in your decision making,
Okay.
especially with the food products.
Okay. So in terms of a target market for this ad, in Mandile, if I start with you, who do you think this ad is targeted at? Who's the audience for this ad? Oh, I think I just lost him one delay. I don't know where he's gone. Maybe he'll be back shortly. Apiwe, who do you think is this ad
Yes, sir.
targeting? Who do you think this ad is targeting?
I would say to caregivers. Basically, it's directed to caregivers, and I wouldn't really group it into a particular, ethnic group per se. But I'll put it all around. Yes, yes. Some of the you know mentioned things in the adverts, like the pastor might come over and you might have to drink a coke. It's probably dominantly black, or like focuses more towards your black people, because I think it's slightly more black culture. I'm assuming. So I still believe though that like the wider audience, across all races and not all ages, the younger generation, maybe not so much, but like anybody who can reason and anybody who can, understand the depth of the adverts, then it's directed at them. I don't see
Okay.
high scholars worrying about it, but like anybody that's a young adult and going upwards in age should take that into account.
Okay.
I think it's directed at them.
Okay. Clive, for you, who is this ad targeting? Who is it aimed at?
Well, from my given point, the ad would be aimed at old people because it specifically has an older version people person within the video. But if you have a wider range, like in terms of people sitting around the table, maybe kids, and in terms of the yogurt scenario, you have kids as well. You have different scenarios for different age groups. And the final age group whereby she's holding her chest, then that would implement everybody in the actual age group. Now it's mainly aimed at old people.
Okay. And I mean, Banzi, you could say if you're in agreement with who we think the ad is for, but more importantly, I want to know, did this ad teach us anything new, or does it just reaffirm what we know?
I think it reinforms what we know more so than anything. Yeah, it doesn't highlight anything new. I think the only new thing that it highlights is that it's in your everyday foods. It's in the exact same things, because a lot of people have the concept of yogurt is healthy, right? So there's unhealthy products in your yogurt. I think that's the only new fact that there is, that it's in your everyday foods.
Okay. Okay. And Dile, your thoughts on did the ad teach you something new or reaffirm? What would you think, Andile?
I think it's true because we mostly associate things that are just basic that we know that are unhealthy, like our cold drinks and stuff. And having said the gentleman before me mentioning yogurts, I personally thought that like yogurts was not per se healthy, but not as associated as an unhealthy food.
Okay, okay. And does this ad have talkability? Lunga, you said this ad spoke personally to you because you could identify with the message, you could identify with the ad. Is this something you would this ad make you talk to others about it?
Yeah, I would say yes. Firstly, because I personally am a conversationalist. Do you remember those adverts, those scrutinize, those HIV adverts? What? Beat the power to surprise,
Mhm.
scrutinize.
Yes.
Yeah, I would group it along with that advert or with those adverts. They spark a conversation because it's not something that is far-fetched. Again, I will say they chose scenes that I think 10 to 80% of Black South Africans. First, I'd like to answer a question you didn't ask me. The target market for that particular ad, I will say it is predominantly Black.
Lunga, I think uh, you were saying you think
Am I
that
on?
the target market is predominantly black, you say?
Yes, yes. Sorry about that. I had a network issue.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, yeah. So I think amongst the Black community, it will spark conversations, just like how those HIV adverts used to, it was something that people used to talk about. With this one too, it's very easy for me, even in the sense of making a joke. Maybe if I see my overweight friend or mother pour themselves a glass of Coke, have an extra slice of pizza, that ad will be now a reference point to to how I will then, build a convert. So for example, I on TV twin, you know, that just means that, hey mom, didn't you see what they said on TV? So without me saying that advert, she already knows, and everyone already knows what I'm talking about. So it will be a way for us to spark convo. People will talk about it because it's not something that is, something that we only see on TV. They use real life scenes that we as Black people mostly. I think for white people, pastor coming to your house and having a glass of Coke is something they don't know. When their pastor goes to their house, it's, they you know how the white people do, they deck out. It's a feast. We don't have money to buy him lamb chops, and so we'll just take this and that. Here's a Coke, here's a slice of, and I'll even have these with you without actually putting myself and my risk first, and saying that, no, Mister, why don't we rather, I don't know, juice. There's so
Okay.
many things that we can have without, we don't have to have KFC. you know
Okay.
it will spark those convos, yes, because it's something that most of us relate to.
Okay. So thinking about this campaign, this ad, do you think that this ad has
Yes.
got high impact in changing our behavior when we now go by after watching this ad? It will create a change of behavior in us. Lunga, would it create a change of behavior in you?
In me, as someone I feel is not in shape, definitely.
Okay.
For as long, us as people, we are very uh like, we are more about the self, like psychology. I- if I see that ad enough times without actually, I'm not saying that I will go at Spar now and say, that ad said I mustn't buy this, but unconsciously, that ad speaks to the self more than it makes me dance, more than I find it funny, more than, but it speaks to that little boy inside me. So without me even noticing, I think I'll just walk into Spa and have that thing that, I know, or I knew that this is not healthy, but I was not doing anything about it. But because I saw that lady on the floor clenching her chest, and we all gonna die, but you always try to prolong it or prevent it. If I can live up until 100, for me personally, let's go. If I
Okay.
can prevent it, and I think it's a very sad way to go out. I don't want to go out like that. Nah.
Okay. Bunty, for you, after watching this ad, does it have an impact in your buying behavior?
moving forward?
Definitely, yes. As I said, the ad was shocking. As for most of the ad, it was kind of the same, keep repeating everything until she's on the floor. Then you realize, oh no, okay, this is serious. Then you play it again the second time. Then you actually take a note of what is everything that's in the ad, and it's everything that you come across in your own household, right? And so it definitely does open your eyes. It definitely says, hey, make better choices. As she says at the beginning, at the end of it, I wish I made better choices. So you yourself now have that power and information to make a better choice.
Okay. And Dile, for you, linking onto that, does this ad have a change behavior element in it that would change how we go about our purchases? Do we become more conscious of what we buy, Andile? Andile, you're on mute. Andile, you're muted.
Andile.
Can you hear me? I'm having problems with
Can
my
you hear me
network.
now?
Yo,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
hear you. Lunga, I'm going to come back to you. Andile?
my
Yes,
network is
sorry
killing
about
me.
that. Yes,
Carry
can you hear
on.
me?
Hi,
Oh,
Iwan Dile.
having seen the adverts, and I think the reason why, since it's an advert, you can't have prolong it for a long time. They had to make like emphasis on how eating badly is going to end up having illnesses, and you might have a heart disease and stuff like that. Even though you might not reach that certain age enough to have that disease, but effectiveness on to start now more than later, because you even mentioned earlier on the adverts that they spoke of yogurt, that the child eats yogurts as well. So that could have medical effects in the long run. So yes.
Okay. And when it comes to government policy, do you think an ad like this would help you support government's initiatives to get better labeling on foods? Let me go to Iwandile. I haven't heard his voice in a while. Iwandile, can you hear me? You have to unmute yourself. Iwandile, unmute yourself. Iwandile, unmute.
Listen.
Yes. Now I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. On the first one, I think this advert was, for me, was scary, because not everybody has the buying power for healthy and safe stuff. So what are you saying to that guy who doesn't have the money for that? Are you saying then you are
Yeah, seems like Iwan Dile's network is giving him problems, and he was raising a very interesting view. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, carry on.
yeah, I can hear you. I'm saying is then someone who doesn't have the finances condemned to a life of bad health and all of this scary stuff happening to them? It's a bit scary. I think it puts more pressure on government to really come up with stuff or products that will not necessarily mean that you have to have money to be safe, but that it will go across board for everyone, because not everybody is financially savvy to buy these products. And I don't think that the big companies really cater for people with no money in their pockets. They are going for the consumer that's going to be buying every day. So do they think of the people who are back in the rural areas who don't have money, who just grab from the shelf because I need to eat? My need is to eat, not to worry about what's on the package. So I don't know how we can look at those people whose necessarily their thing is I have to get something to eat, not necessarily what's on the package. How do we think for them, because their thoughts are not on the package, but when is my next meal coming? Then how do you prepare for someone in that nature?
Okay, very interesting point raised in Andile, because you're talking about the fact that the desire to eat healthy might be constrained by the fact of availability and affordability of healthy foods for certain segments of our population. That people might want to eat healthy, but based on what is available to them and their disposable income to afford, what is perceived as healthy might be a barrier and a challenge. But if I can come to Banzi, do you think that this ad will still kind of increase your willingness to wanting to support government in their initiatives?
Yes, personally, it definitely will still. I still would support government on this matter.
Okay.
Specific. It does raise the importance, right? I think it does raise the awareness of the importance of everything.
Okay. And if we think about Banzi, if we think about what this ad can do towards companies, does this ad influence your opinion about the companies who manufacture these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks?
I don't think it would influence them. I think it definitely should be something that influences them. But I think it also, what would influence that more so is the demand. So if nothing happens to the demand, I don't think nothing would happen to the actual product itself. Them putting the information on it doesn't necessarily mean the demand is going to go down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And Andile, for you, your thoughts towards the companies who are producing it, does this ad do anything for you in that regard? Andile?
I personally think it does because it's informing us. Yes, I personally think it does because it's showing us that they have thoughts in mind of the consumers who consume these products. So them putting nutritional values within or on the branding of the products gives us sort of they think about or are concerned about our health. So it's very important, I think.
Okay, okay. And maybe if we think about the scenes in the ad, was there any scenes to you guys, Lunga, that was offensive or inappropriate?
Look, man, as I said, for this ad, they had a certain target market, they had a certain group, a certain person in mind that they were speaking to. Because if I'm an overweight white man, honestly, what was said in that advert, the visuals, audio, content, none of that speaks to me. So I will feel like, I'm still good. But back to your question, there is maybe a small group of Black people, particularly, that would feel like they are targeted by that advert. Yes, it's informative. Yes, it's necessary. Yes, at the end of the day, it's not swearing them or saying anything, but it's not inclusive of every race type, even age-wise. As Apiwa said, it doesn't speak to young people. So old people can also say that they were targeted by that advert.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Banzi, what was the scene that was most impactful for you? But was there something that you found offensive in any way in the ad?
I didn't find
Banzi?
anything offensive. I didn't find anything offensive, but as Lunga said, it is kind of ageist in terms of me as a young person. I look at it and I think of my grandmother more. So I don't think of it in terms of me. I think of it in terms of my grandmother, the yogurt. I think about my little cousin. I think about everybody else except for me. But at the same time, these are things that I also consume, right? So it doesn't appeal to me simply because the characters or necessarily what was said, it doesn't sound like it's speaking to me. It's saying look around you more than anything, and then it includes my grandmother and my cousin more so than anything.
And Banzi, just to ask you, if the ad had to speak more to you, would you have wanted to see a character in the ad that kind of like you could identify with? So you talk about your nieces and nephews. with the young kids that were in the ad. Then you talk of your grandmother or an older person because of the person lying on the floor. But if
Yes.
you had to see someone in the middle age group reflected in the ad, you might feel that the ad is talking to you as well, and it's inclusive.
Yes, yes, because it does have other age groups, but not mine specifically. And as Lunga said as well, it doesn't have necessarily somebody of my body shape either. So
Okay.
it does seem like, yeah, it's just specifically for a specific group of people, although it does
Okay.
make me look around.
Okay, a period for you. What was the scene that was most impactful? You know, kind of like that kind of like was positive for you. A period.
Could you just say that one more time? Positive. One part that was positive for me.
Yes,
Was that the question?
memorable. What scene was memorable or impactful for you?
Okay, look, brother. Like I'll use a simple example, right? My dad is he's trying to watch his weight now because I think the reality has kicked in with him that maybe he has people that he knows that have passed on due to maybe obesity or whatever, right? So he doesn't eat things like mayonnaise and stuff because he feels like it's high cholesterol foods and whatnot. So an advert like this is a reminder, if he maybe
My
breaks
network is
off.
killing me. Yo.
Hello?
Okay, I'm listening to you. Someone's struggling with their network, but we'll try and sort that out.
Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, so it's like a reminder to somebody that's like my dad or my mom that has, ulcers to not maybe consume certain products, because they then see, because they're at that age, they will now worry, or it'll be like a reminder to say, hey man, keep doing what you're doing. Don't eat high cholesterol foods like mayonnaise, because they don't eat mayonnaise at all. Um, it's a reminder to those people, but to somebody who is of my age or me specifically, nah, it doesn't really, it does not stop me from maybe getting, KFC when I have a bit of money to spend on KFC, So yeah, big ups. I feel like it would be very effective with the older people that are older than I am. But at my age, I honestly will not deprive myself.
Okay. So now what I want us to do is I want us to think of, I'm going to share my screen again, and I want to talk to our next concept. Do you guys all see? Can you see time to know? Okay. So now what I want to ask you as a slogan, how strong do you believe this slogan is for this campaign, and does it resonate with you, Clive? If I ask you, time to know, what does it resonate for you? What message do you get from it when you look at it?
Well, from where I'm currently standing and time to know, it's doesn't have that much of an impact sound wise. It doesn't have that that strong feeling. But time to know, yes. What is the time to know? What is it? What is there for us to know? Time to know is not really a concept that we really think of using if it was my therefore certain campaign.
Okay, Banzi, for you, time to know as a slogan line, what do you take from it?
As a slow, okay, removing that picture, time to know might be an interesting one because it will want you to ask again, what is it that we have to know now, or things like that. But with the picture there, it confuses me, and it doesn't necessarily. I don't want to necessarily look into it if I did not know the advert and I was just looking at that picture. I'm not too sure what's going on. Time to know what exactly it's. Yeah, I don't think I'd be interested, or it's not a catchy slogan.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Andile, what does time to know do for you in terms of, and I mean, you can take the picture away in your mind and try and say, as a standalone slogan, time to know, how does that resonate with you? What stands out?
Personally, with the slogan and the picture, it doesn't do much justice with me. I'm not saying I know a lot about like slogans or whatever, but considering the picture, I would have suggested maybe should have known, because she's now, it's like the full effects of her bad unhealthy eating have now affected her. So since day one, it was more of a climax. So time to know is more of currently, but in this, and the gist of the picture is that what has happened to her has been long coming. So time to know doesn't do much justice for me.
Okay, and you go on with the word should have known, or should know,
Yes, I think should have known. Yeah,
or things like
she
that.
should have. Yes, because if she should have known since day one eating unhealthy, because time to know, I think it's like focusing on her all the effects of bad eating, which is a long-term thing, but what's going on right now as her suffering from a heart attack or stroke or whatever.
Lunga, for you, how does this resonate? Time to know.
Nah, no, it doesn't do it for me either. Uh, I'll take you back like to this. Are you seeing on your screen?
No, no. Are you sharing something else?
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I,
I edited there.
I don't know if the edited
Like,
if the sharing works where I can see what you're sharing with me now.
oh, okay, only you can share. Okay, I was just
Oh,
pointing out that
you drew a circle around the guy's head.
yeah.
Okay.
It's time to know. Okay, but I'll just agree a lot with Andy. And I also like to point out that I think that they were going for a translation of Sifnugwaz, and it doesn't hammer the same point. It doesn't even translate to the same thing. Time to know is a bit too late now because she's clenching her chest. It's rather, if you went with should have known, yes, it's already done, but she should have known. But it now speaks to me, who still has a chance, rather than it says, do you want to end up there? Then I'll say no. So she should have known. Time to know. I do know that I mean the guys at KFC will tell you that
Lunga, I just think we have network issues when you're raising this important point. Okay. Lunga's just gone away. We're gonna ask him, we're gonna come back to him.
Sorry.
Lunga, are you there?
Sorry, gentlemen. My network is pulling a Luandile on me.
Okay, Lunga, you were saying.
Yes, so I'm saying that, even the guys that sell you these things, if you buy a cigarette, it's written there in big and bold that cigarettes will kill you. So I don't think there's anyone who doesn't know, like time to know, like I don't think there's anyone in the world, a 2-year-old will tell you that this is wrong, but the advert should be then focusing not should be then focusing on the consequences, of which we don't see much of, because it's sort of a hidden thing. People do die from these things, but to be honest, I think we will all agree that we don't normally say it, but it happens a lot. So time to know, a 2-year-old will tell you that too much KFC will kill you. So nah, no, it doesn't do justice for me.
Okay. So when we go about, and I want to see, like, can you see both of these campaigns next to each other in a slide? So
Yes.
time to know Sifuna Kwazi as a slogan, and I want you to ignore the pictures. As a slogan, which do you believe works hardest and is more effective? Andile, coming to you first. Which slogan is works stronger for you in communicating that message, creating that awareness of wanting to educate people about knowing what's in their food?
Uh, I think the first one you showed us with the guy with the glasses and the caption on the newspaper is more what's viewer friendly, because I know that eating unhealthy is bound to make you ill, but then others might be sensitive to the fact that, as compared to the second one where the woman or the elderly woman is clenching to her chest.
Okay. So so the first one is stronger. Clive, for you, which one is stronger?
Well, for me, the first one would be stronger. Sifunuwazi, just as a slogan. It's more catchy, but it has that, that oomph that we want to know. In terms
Okay.
of time to know, the time to know doesn't really go well.
Okay. Banzi, for you, from a slogan perspective, which one is stronger?
Sifunukwazi is definitely stronger.
Definitely stronger, resonates better with you.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
Lunga has already said that Sifunu Kwazi is a stronger one. And then
Yes,
Apiwe,
but I would like to add,
yes, come to me, add.
Definitely. All right. I think we are forgetting uh, what these adverts are saying. The focal point. Sfunukwazi actually hammers. What I'm picking up, or what I picked up, or what was said is that, like, people, the public, us, the consumers, need to be told what is in our food, you know, and not sugar coated. This whole thing of um example, we'll drink juice, say liquid fruit, we'll drink that for 20 years, and then they'll come in the 21st year and say, now with real juice. So what was I drinking this whole time? Because you 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 were selling it to me as juice. Now you're telling me now it has real juice, you know. I'm happy that it now has real juice, but what was I drinking this whole time? So we want to know Sifunu was, do not put the
Mm.
yes. You should focus on your marketing. You should focus on whatever, because at the end of the day you're trying to make a profit. But do not put it in fine print. It's such a common thing now. We know that at the back of my chips, my knickknacks, they'll have this graph or this table with things that I don't understand. They suddenly can't say sugar now. They're going with words like what's this? So sodium is salt. Then they'll go with words I don't know what they call sugar. Then fat, they'll call it energy. No, sugar is energy. Then they'll tell you about all of these words that you don't understand now. They're starting to call it other things. They measuring it in ways that you don't know. Whereas had they said that, listen, in this Coke, it's mostly sugar. So you're selling me a 330 mil of Coke. Put it there that about 120 mils maybe is just sugar, so that I I do know. I'm just trusting that the government wouldn't allow companies to sell me unhealthy food. That's why I consume so much. And unfortunately, it's what's happening now. The government is allowing them. They just taxing them more. There's your sugar taxes and whatever. So both the company and the government are profiting off me eating unhealthy and shortening my life. So we want to know.
Okay. Okay. So guys, what we're gonna do as a last exercise, what you have to remember now is that we only looked at 2 ads, concept 3 and concept 4. Concept 4 is Sifunukwazi, concept 3 is time to know. You are going to evaluate these 2 ads in terms of a list of questions that I will share with you now. So always remember, we were discussing concept 3 and concept 4. Sifunukwazi was concept 4. So when I wait, let me do this. Wait. So when I share this poll, oopsie, I'm supposed to be here. So when I share this poll with you, it's supposed to be a summary. It will only be 8 questions. And on the questions, it says, which one of the ads that you've seen would be the one that you'd be most likely to talk about with someone else? Your options can only be between concept 3, time to know, and concept 4, Sifunukwazi. Answer the correct answer on your side. Then the second question, which one of the ads that you've seen is the least likely for you to talk to someone else? Overall, which one of the ads would be the most likely to increase your support for warning labels on the front of food and drinks packages? Question 4 is the inverse. Which ad is the least likely to increase your support for warning labels? Concept 3 or concept 4? Question 5. Overall, which one of the ads would be most likely to increase your support for government's action to reduce consumption of unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Concept 3 and concept 4. Question 6 is again the inverse. Which one is the least likely to increase your support for government support to reduce consumption of unhealthy
sorry
foods?
to interrupt.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I was kicked out of the meeting due to network. I don't see the questions at all. Okay, I just got them now.
Okay. So just look for them and continue till the end. There are 8 questions. Question 7 says, overall, which one ad is most likely to reduce your family's unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? And then the inverse is question 8. So once everybody's completed, I think Banzi has completed. Dunga has completed. Clive.
Can I just ask quickly, is concept 4 the granny concept?
No, concept 4 is Sifunukwazi. Concept 3 is the granny concept, time to know.
All right. Okay.
So,
all right, I've got it.
Yeah, so 3 is granny, 4 is Sifunukwazi.
Danny, I just wanted to let you know I'm on my last 2%.
Okay, so we're gonna be done. We're gonna be done now. Once you guys are submitted, then we are actually at the end of the interview.
All right. I just want to say sorry if it does cut, but thank you for the whole thing as well.
All I want to say what I want to say to you is there's a token of appreciation that will be deposited into your accounts tomorrow. If there are any problems, please contact the Mark Data office if we get cut off. I just want to get that message across. But if we do, I want to thank you for your time, Banji.
Sorry.
Everybody, yes. Is everybody?
I was kicked out again of the meeting, and my questions have since disappeared. I don't know what happens now.
Apiwe, just call them up again. Just check if you open up your meeting.
Call who?
I mean, in terms of, can you see the questions?
I've submitted mine.
Okay.
Hello?
Apiwe?
Yeah, I'm just trying to walk around for network because it keeps kicking me out now. I don't know what's going on with my network, basically.
Okay.
But
Apiwe,
all right, here we go. I got them again.
have you got them again?
Yeah, I got them again. Let me just finish up.
Okay, you can finish up and just let me know. Then maybe we can still complete while Banji is still on the call. Let's go for that last 2% to use it to our optimum.
It's loading.
Loading.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. It's done.
Okay, guys. I just want to say thank you very much for being on the call. I see we've lost Banzi. I think his phone went off, but thank you for your kind of responses. It was great talking to you. I think we have definitely covered all aspects, and I just want to wish you guys well for the rest of the evening and for the rest of the week. Okay,
Thank you so
Clive,
much,
thanks
Kenny.
a lot.
Thank you so much.
Andile,
Thanks a
thank you.
lot.
Lunga, Apiwe, thank you guys.
Okay, cool. Cheers.
Bye, guys.